Welcome, everyone. My name is Will Moss. I am going to be your moderator for today's event with LinkedIn, presented by HBCU Connect. We're super excited to have you all. Like I said, quick housekeeping notes. During the event, please keep your video and audio off unless we are in the breakout sessions, but do leverage the chat here within Zoom. This is a great opportunity for you to connect with the team members from LinkedIn, ask questions, and engage and learn about the opportunities so that you can potentially land an interview. All right, so let me quickly set the stage for our event and set expectations by going over the agenda for today's event. So I'll give a brief welcome, a little bit of background on our relationship and partnership with LinkedIn. Then I'll introduce our keynote speaker, who's going to be Eddie Bernard, Director, Performance Engineering at LinkedIn. Then we're going to introduce you to some of the leaders of the breakout sessions. So you'll be able to meet the LinkedIn team, learn a little bit more about what they do at LinkedIn, their path to LinkedIn, and then they will introduce the team members that will be joining them in their breakout sessions. So you'll want to take notes as we introduce the speakers. So if you want to join one of those breakout sessions, you can take notes on which breakout sessions you like to join. We have a pretty lengthy amount of time for the breakout sessions, so you can change and jump around in the different breakout sessions to engage with the different teams. But first of all, we're going to introduce you to those team members so you'll know a little bit about them and their background. Then we'll go ahead and start the breakout sessions. And in each breakout session, like I said, you'll have the opportunity to meet those different team members, learn a little bit about what those teams do and what the team members do individually. And then you'll have the opportunity to ask questions live. So in the breakout sessions, like I said, you can turn on your video feed, you can turn on your audio and use the LinkedIn, or I'm sorry, the Zoom features to raise hand and ask questions. And then after the breakout sessions, we'll have some final words from the talent acquisition team. So I'll introduce them at that point. They'll give you some idea about context for potentially landing an interview and potentially working at LinkedIn. Then in the event, I'll ask for a couple of last words from our keynote speaker, and then it'll be off to the races, hopefully you all landing some opportunities with LinkedIn. Okay, quick background on myself, HBCU Connect and LinkedIn. Like I said, this is our second event with LinkedIn. I am the founder and CEO of HBCU Connect. We've been doing events like this over the last 10 or so years. Primarily, we were doing these events offline and in person in different locations all around the country, from California to Seattle to Texas to Georgia, all the way up to New York and even in the Midwest and Ohio. But fast forward to 2020, COVID-19 hit, and we were not able to do these diversity recruitment events in person. But kudos to our partners like LinkedIn. We pivoted to doing these events virtually. So this opportunity is for you not only to learn more about LinkedIn and the company, but also for you to engage, ask questions. And the hope is that many of you will have the opportunity to land an interview and then join some of the teams that will be represented today. So that is the opportunity for you here at this evening's event. So definitely make the most of it. Like I said, take notes on the breakout sessions that you like to join and engage in, and then ask questions in the chat. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, who is Eddie Bernard, Director, Performance Engineering at LinkedIn. So Eddie, if you're ready.
Yes, thanks, Will, appreciate it. Hey, everybody, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're joining us from. Again, my name's Eddie Bernard, and on behalf of LinkedIn, I'm extremely pleased and very honored to be here with all of you guys today, and really to highlight the opportunities that are available to folks here, and to really highlight one of the things that LinkedIn is really proud about, and that's our key principles around providing economic opportunities to everybody that's part of the global workforce. And this is really particularly true, especially for an event like this, where we want to make sure that we are being diverse and inclusive, and really making sure that we're seeing the representation of the broader community, and basically us being a reflection of what the demographic across the country and across the world looks like. A little bit about me. You saw some bullets that are put up there a little bit. I like to talk about myself is a little bit kind of give my origin story. I think it's always important to kind of be the hero of your own story. And for me, my journey into LinkedIn, has a bunch of turns and twists to it. And I promise I'll try to keep it all tied together and whatnot. But I started off as a young person growing up in Miami, Florida. For those of us from Miami, hey, how you doing? And there's three things that were really important to me when I was growing up as a kid. One, I had this strong fascination with computers and technology. I got very introduced to it at a very, very young age, and it was something that just really stoked a passion in me when I first got introduced to my first computer. And I won't go into what type and whatnot because I'll start to carbon date myself, but suffice it to say, it was a while ago. The other two things that folks should know about me too is that I love all things about aviation. I was fascinated with all things about airplanes and space and rockets and whatnot when growing up as a kid. And so the other things that I was really wanting to do as a kid is that I wanted to become a pilot. And because of my curiosity about astronomy and the stars, I wanted to be an astronaut. So again, these are all things that are aspirational and things that, that provided me some context and some drive about the things that I wanted to go after as a kid. And in college, as I made it through grade school and whatnot and graduated, I was lucky enough to land a scholarship via Air Force ROTC, which helped me pay my first childhood dream of being able to go to college and get a computer science degree. The second part of that is that because I was able to get one through Air Force ROTC, I was actually able to enter the military and actually join the Air Force, and I actually was able to enter the aviation program. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to enter as a pilot, but instead I entered as a navigator instead. So I spent 7 glorious years as an Air Force KC-135 navigator, and loved every bit of that experience while I was doing that. As far as the astronaut part of it, most folks who enter the space program usually come either via that type of vehicle of coming in through some type of military aviation training to enter that, and that was kind of my thought process in regards to how I was going to get myself there. I did end up leaving the Air Force after my 7-year stint, and luckily enough, I actually landed a job at NASA Ames Research Center at Moffett Field in California. And I was able to actually work in a job that actually allowed me to take advantage of the things that I learned as an aviator, working on air traffic control automation software. And so I spent a couple of years working there at NASA Ames. And while I didn't get a chance to really be an astronaut, I was very, very fortunate to actually work next to and with a number of astronauts. So that's kind of my origin story as far as I'm concerned. I was able to achieve what I wanted to achieve in my career, in my journey, leading to where I am today. From there, I moved into a variety of roles working in the Silicon Valley over the course of those years since leaving the military and since leaving Ames. And a lot of the discipline area that I focused on is actually one of the topics that we'll talk about here today. I spent a good portion of time working what we now call site reliability engineering, or SRE. And that's really where I really kind of really build my acumen and kind of built up a lot of my skill set over the years in the technology space. The vast majority of that time I worked at Adobe. I worked at Adobe for 16 and a half years. And since then, I've moved into a role here, the role that I'm in now as the director of the performance engineering team at LinkedIn, where I've been in this role now for a year and a half. And I'm so pleased that I'm here. A little bit about what performance engineering does and what my team is responsible for. So my team, we're responsible for building the tools that does a measurement and analysis to optimize the speed and efficiency of all of our applications as we put them in front of our members and our customers, and making sure that they're highly performant and they're meeting the objectives of our customer base. We consider ourselves to be the domain and subject matter experts when it comes to all things related to performance, making sure that we're building things fast and efficient, not only from the standpoint of how they perform, but also making sure that they're cost effective and resource efficient that we're building. I work with 2 great peer teams in my organization. One team is called Service Infrastructure, and the other one is called the LinkedIn Platform Services team. And together, we're part of a larger organization that's called the Site Engineering Organization. And that larger organization is ultimately responsible for the care and feeding and the service delivery of the operations of all LinkedIn customer-facing services and assets that we present to our customers. As far as what my team does, again, we build a number of different tools that we provide to the developer community, to what we call the R&D space here, the research and development organization, or our engineering organization. We also provide libraries and other instrumentation capability and consultative services today that we lend to development teams to ensure that developers have the facilities and the capabilities in place to introspect, analyze, and discover issues that pertain to performance-related issues with their applications as they're building them. We also, again, partner very closely with development teams. We try to do early engagements with teams and whatnot, so that when we're talking about implementing something, whether it's a new component, a new service, bringing in new technology into the service stack, that we're working very closely together, again, because the end result and the end state of what we want to do is we want to provide the best performing solution on behalf of our customers. I'll talk a little bit about the life here at LinkedIn as well. I think LinkedIn is an amazing place, and it really endeavors to embody and represent the best of what social communities represent. One of the things that we are very proud of saying here at LinkedIn is LinkedIn, over a number of years now, has been called out to be the #1 trusted social network. And we take that with a great deal of pride and a lot of humility, in that, again, we believe in serving our customers and making sure that we're honoring our obligations and honoring the services that we want to provide to our customers. And I think that also reflects too in the culture that we try to build here at LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I see it as a very opening, welcoming, and encouraging organization. The year and a half that I've been here, people have been nothing short of going out of their way to provide information, to look out for you, to really make sure that they're bringing you along, and are super generous of their time of that. And I feel the need to reciprocate that as well. And I think that because of that, we're all looking out for one another. And again, we're making sure that we're seeking to provide opportunities and success to everybody that's part of the organization. The other thing that I like about LinkedIn too is that being able to show up as your true self, as your authentic self, and that's something that I know that is a concept that's very popular and being spoken to today in the industry. LinkedIn really embraces that. I think that it really does a great job of letting people kind of show up as their true authentic self, and again, you feel comfortable in your own skin being who you are. And I think that as a culture, again, it's something that it's permissible in this organization because it's modeled from the top of the organization all the way down throughout the organization. Along those lines, in regards to representation, or what we now call diversity and inclusivity, I feel here that our leadership has done a great job of leaning into this and really trying to reflect the values expressed in regards to supporting and encouraging more diversity and representation across the board in the organization. I've been beneficial of seeing that myself firsthand with very senior leaders across the board within LinkedIn, being asked to participate in forums and discussions, seeing our senior and executive leaders really make themselves vulnerable and make themselves accessible in regards to the questions that come up, and we can have very candid and honest conversations about those things, which I think, again, that vulnerability just demonstrates the accessibility and demonstrates the desire to really want to be more of an inclusive organization. And then last thing I just want to say is, in regards to just, my impassioned pitch for why LinkedIn is such a great place to work, is that the things that we're doing in regards to, again, the technology, the services, a lot of what's going on here at LinkedIn are all beneficial things. But I think that, the totality of what it is of being a LinkedIn employee and being part of the LinkedIn experience, again, really centers around the fact that we have such a great and vibrant culture that we're building and that we're continuing to build upon. And it's really a muscle that we will always continue to develop and continue to evolve, because it's something that, again, that we always want to grow and be more inclusive and really have a greater representation. Because in diversity ends up being something that ultimately, I call this our superpower. I know our executives call it the same thing. And so investing in that and making sure that we're continuing to develop that is going to make sure that we're going to continue to grow and to prosper. I'm really proud of our culture. I'm proud of our growth, and I'm very, very proud of being part of the LinkedIn community. And I'm really excited about being here speaking to all of you guys today, and I hope everybody enjoys today's event. With that, Will, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Eddie. Let me just engage you for a quick second on a couple of questions that I had, just to give context to our candidates. So my first question is, how did you end up working at LinkedIn? So how did you get your foot in the door at LinkedIn?
No, it's a great question. Actually, I was at, again, working at Adobe, and I actually was communicated to via LinkedIn. I've been a LinkedIn member for a number of years. I think going on 14 now, if I do my math correctly. And a recruiter from LinkedIn happened to reach out to me about an opportunity. And I'll be very candid. At first, I thought, when the opportunity was originally presented to me, I thought, I don't know if I'm your guy, really, to tell you the truth at first. But as I got a chance to talk about the opportunity and talk to the team about it, the more and more that I really started to become more comfortable and really got a chance to really understand what the LinkedIn mission was really truly about, and how invested people were and how passionate they are behind the mission of that. And that's what really intrigued me more. And the more and more I talked about the opportunity, the more and more I really started to invest myself in wanting to be part of this journey as well.
Awesome. So quick follow-up question, I think that would also be good from a context perspective. And to our candidates, if you have questions for Eddie specifically, you can ask those questions in the chat, after the keynote. But Eddie, I wanted to ask another question for context. Can you describe a little bit about what your team looks like? So how big is your team, and what types of engineers or managers are on your team?
Right. Yeah. So my team, we are 54 people strong and actively growing quite a bit, as a matter of fact. We are primarily, again, because of COVID, we actually embrace a strategy now where we support hybrid and remote employees in the organization. You can't see it here right now because of my background, but I actually reside in Colorado. I actually live in Denver, Colorado, and I have been here for 16 years and been a very proud remote employee. And I'm happy that LinkedIn as a company really embraces that mantra as well. The team is primarily located in the Bay Area. We have folks in the South Bay Area. We also have folks in San Francisco, and I also have a team of people that are a team that's actually growing quite a bit out in our India office in Bangalore as well. So we operate across geos as well, and which actually makes for some interesting management of time and management of resources, and making sure we bring the team together and building that cohesion within the organization. I think we've done a really good job with that, over the course of the time that I've been fortunate to be leading this team. As far as the class of engineers, again, we have again, primarily focused around people that have software development backgrounds, that have an active interest in infrastructure and an active interest in performance. And again, I say interest, not necessarily experience, because again, one of the things that as you come into the industry, most people come in and they go, hey, I want to work on applications, I want to build products and whatnot, which is great. You should absolutely do all of those things, and it's very well welcomed and whatnot. But all applications and all things that you build that end up customer facing really are predicated on the quality of the infrastructure that they're built upon and what they're delivered on. And that's where we come in. And so, so we have a lot of people that come in with that type of domain expertise, but also people who have that interest and that zeal for wanting to solve these type of complex problems as it pertains to delivering high scale distributed, working in high scale distributed systems and making sure that they are performant, at global scale.
Awesome. So I think that gives us some great context. So to our candidates, if you have questions specifically for Eddie as our keynote and the Director of Performance Engineering, please drop those questions in the chat. But Eddie, let me thank you for being our keynote. And if you would, just keep an eye on the chat for any questions that you might be able to answer. Thank you. All right, so with that, let me now introduce our different team members. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the leads for each of the breakout sessions. So you all will want to really sort of tune in, take notes on the teams that you're interested in learning more about, so that you can join those breakout sessions. And these will be the leaders of those breakout sessions. So I'm going to introduce them one by one. I'm going to allow them to introduce the teams that will be with them in their breakout sessions, so that they can answer your questions and engage with you in those breakout sessions. So first things first, let me introduce Manoj Thakur, who's a Senior Software Engineering Manager there at LinkedIn. So Manoj, if you're ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Manoj, and I will be representing LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, LMS for short, today. But first of all, let me say that I am super excited to be here and having been given an opportunity to present in this forum and just given an opportunity to help attendees with their career. So with that said, a bit about me. So I'm originally from India, and that's where I pursued my undergraduate BTech, Bachelor's in Technology in Computer Science. And after I graduated, I joined a startup and started working on some of the backend challenges. And as I worked through them, I realized that, okay, there's so much more to this space, and I wanted to learn more, get back into academia. And that's when I started thinking about applying for masters. And then I went through the whole process and I finally got accepted at UCLA. At UCLA, my focus was computer science. And during my time at UCLA, apart from the usual computer science curriculum, I was also a student researcher at one of the smart grid research lab. And I also, during the summer, interned at Amazon in their AWS S3 team. Right after graduating, I was hired by LinkedIn, and this was through a campus recruiting event. And guess what? The recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn. So I joined LinkedIn as a software engineer, and pretty much been in LMS, the LinkedIn Marketing Solutions team, all throughout, with specific focus on building ad targeting products, specifically helping advertisers and our customers reach the right audience at scale with the right context, which is very important, specifically in the online advertising industry, right? So up until 2019, I was operating as an individual contributor, after which I decided to switch to management. And I currently manage a team of engineers who are focused on building this ad targeting product and growing this offering and making it more relevant, especially in this day and age where privacy is of utmost importance. One of the key focus areas for my team is to how to make sure that while we give the most value to our customers, which are our advertisers, while maintaining and upholding member privacy and making sure that your data remains protected within our LinkedIn boundaries. So, for the wider LMS organization, it is basically responsible for the sponsored content ecosystem on LinkedIn feed and on relevant third-party surfaces. Our team's vision is to create economic opportunity for every organization worldwide. And the way we do this is by building a seamless customer experience through industry-leading products and technologies, building cutting-edge, highly scalable ad serving platform, and helping businesses build presence and engage with their wider professional community to drive outcomes. And today, I have an awesome panel of rock stars from LMS who will be answering any questions that you might have. That's me.
Awesome. So Manoj, thank you for being one of our breakout session leaders. To our candidates, this is super exciting because I imagine that all of our candidates have a LinkedIn profile and you see opportunities. So this is one of the teams that you will be able to engage with in the breakout sessions. So definitely be prepared for that. This is exciting for me because my company, HBCU Connect, we use LinkedIn and we use LinkedIn Marketing Solutions as well. So very nice to meet you, Manoj, and thank you for being one of our breakout session leaders. And to our candidates, if you have questions for Manoj prior to the breakout sessions, please drop those questions in the chat. All right, so let me introduce our next breakout session leader, who is Rachel Holmes, Manager, Technical Program Management. So Rachel, if you're ready.
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. Very excited to talk to you all. And yes, as Will just said, I am a manager of a technical program management team, also known as TPMs, within the LinkedIn Talent Solutions organization. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my career. It also has been a bit of a winding road. So I studied bioengineering in college, but while I was still in school, I got the opportunity to intern at Google, which was really my first entry point into a tech company. And I really, really enjoyed my internship and the people that I got to work with. And so after graduating, I joined Google full-time within people operations, which is a very big diversion away from bioengineering. But what was really appealing for me was the fact that I was entering into a rotational program. So I got to try out many different types of jobs and really figure out what are things that are interesting to me, what are things that are not interesting to me, and where were some of my strengths. So through that experience, I landed in the analytics space within people operations. And that was really my introduction to working with databases, diving into data, solving problems, and helping drive decision-making with data. And so I stayed within that space for the remainder of my time at Google, and really just continued to build that skill set in addition to figuring out how you scale and automate reporting to large organizations. After almost 4 years at Google, I got really tired of commuting. I was based in the Bay Area and spent a lot of time on a bus. And so I started looking for a position that was based out of San Francisco. And one of my friends and connections that worked at LinkedIn pointed me in the direction of an analytics position at LinkedIn. So I joined LinkedIn doing business analytics for a jobs team that was based out of San Francisco. And it was very exciting. The company, it was a new set of data for me to learn. And really one of the things that you may hear across different talks here is that, LinkedIn's data is really one of its biggest assets and something that really allows us to provide the products and services that you all see. And so having that entry into LinkedIn really set me up for success in the future. So about 6 months into my time at LinkedIn, I had been working closely with product teams, engineering teams, and I really wanted to get to work more closely with them and understand how you actually bring products to build products and bring them to market. And so the team I was working with took on a new product, which was around building the job application experience. And they were going to hire a TPM, technical program manager, for the role. And so I raised my hand and expressed interest in doing that role. And so I got to start out trying that out. And 6 months later, I was like a full-time technical program manager. And so that really kickstarted where I am, the path to where I am today, managing a TPM team. I've managed multiple projects within the talent solutions space over my time, starting with job applications. And one of the areas I worked on for about 3 years was a product called Talent Insights, which really brought together my background and experience with working with the data at LinkedIn with the program management experience. And so I got to work on that product from early stage before we had actually built anything through to launching the product and even continuing with the program for a couple of years of growth. So that really was a wonderful experience and a really great team and culture. And so then about a year ago, I transitioned into the manager position. And so now I'm managing a small team of TPMs within the Talent Solutions organization. And so that's how I've gotten to where I am now. And then just a little bit more about Talent Solutions. The organization is really focused on, is really at the core of hiring for many businesses. And we provide the enterprise or business products that allow companies to post jobs, to search for candidates, and really identify people that they want to message and reach out to for jobs. And then we also provide the other side of the entry points for candidates who are looking for jobs, and all of the matching criteria behind all of that. And so really the ecosystem is about bringing together job seekers and the people who are doing the hiring, and driving and getting people hired. So that's been a very exciting part of the company to work on. And so yeah, so our breakout room, one thing I will add for our breakout room is that we do have some representatives from a couple of organizations outside of Talent Solutions, including the what we call flagship, which is really like the LinkedIn.com interface that most of you are accustomed to interacting with, as well as the LinkedIn Premium team.
Awesome, awesome. So to our candidates, this is going to be an awesome opportunity for you to connect, to ask questions in the LinkedIn Talent Solutions and flagship breakout rooms. So we'll open up the breakout rooms once we've introduced all of our breakout room leaders and sessions. Okay, so thanks, Rachel, for being one of our leaders. And to our candidates, if you have questions specifically for Rachel, please drop those questions in the chat. All right. Thank you. All right, so let me introduce the next breakout session team leader, who is Nicole Atkinson-Roach, Director of Media Productions at LinkedIn. So Nicole, if you're ready.
I sure am. Hey, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm actually, I feel a little bit like the odd woman out because I'm not an engineer, but I work for an engineering team. As mentioned, my name is Nicole Atkinson-Roach. I'm the director of LinkedIn's media productions team, which is part of the larger productivity engineering team, also known as PE for short. And as many of you may already know, LinkedIn's mission is to connect the world's professionals, to make them more productive and successful. And my organization, Productivity Engineering, builds the engineering solutions to help employees be more productive and successful in delivering on LinkedIn's mission. So what does that mean? Our work spans everything from go-to-market, sales, finance, employee lifecycle, enterprise infrastructure, customer support, and of course the work I do, which is media content. So in my day-to-day, I actually create and deliver live shows, events, and videos for employees, members, and customers. My personal background, I'm a Emmy winner and have worked for TV, corporations, and nonprofits and done hundreds of videos globally that were distributed on cable and online. I also happen to be married to a Morehouse grad and have a couple Morehouse brothers-in-law, so I'm very excited to be here. And with me today, I actually have an amazing group of software engineers. I have Brooke Mola, who is a director of platforms engineering and leads a team of engineers and data scientists that support our financial planning and accounting priorities at LinkedIn. And prior to LinkedIn, Brooke worked at Netflix and other places. I have Obi Azogu, who is a software engineering manager. He leads the sales automation engineering team. Before LinkedIn, he worked at AutoTrader and Cisco. I have Eb Adisa. He's a senior software engineering manager of the Sales Foundation engineering team. Eb has worked across many different sectors, from fintech to healthcare to media tech to sales tech, and is a grad of Kennesaw State University in Atlanta. I'm Dominic Santa, God, I knew I was gonna mess up your name, Dominic, Santangelo, who is a senior engineering manager for horizontal UI engineering and accessibility engineering before LinkedIn. Dominic led teams at PayPal, iFixit, and eBay. And last but certainly not least, we have Kara Hopkins, PhD. who is a software engineer for the Marketing Technology Engineering Group. She's a Spelman grad and has worked at NASA, Intel, and Pixar. And all of us are excited to be here and look forward to chatting with you in our breakout rooms around career paths, imposter syndrome, and the myth behind all of that, and why we think and know that HBCU grads are probably already have the coveted growth mindset that all the companies need to thrive in tech. So we hope you'll join us in the breakout.
Awesome, Nicole. Thank you for being one of our breakout session leaders. To our candidates, if you have questions for Nicole, feel free to drop those in the chat, but then you can also join the productivity engineering breakout session. And I encourage you to also hop around the different breakout sessions if you like to hear from some of the different representatives and team members and ask questions to those different teams. You can do so. All right, so thanks, Nicole, for that. Let me introduce our next breakout session leader, who is Wale Obadimu, PhD, Site Reliability Engineer. Wale, if you're ready.
Yes, I am. Thank you, everyone, for giving me some time to talk a little bit about myself. It's not every day that I get to talk about myself, so this is interesting. Yeah, so my name is Wale Obadimu. I'm from Nigeria. So after my bachelor's, I decided to pursue a PhD in computer science. So during my PhD, I did my dissertation on assessing the role of toxicity, that is toxic content, on social media. A little bit about my background. I was a lead developer, software developer at Cosmos at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I did also mentor Udacity Nano Degree data engineering program. And I had a certification in Cisco. Cisco certifies network engineer and CCIE, CCNP, and CCNA, respectively. I also completed the Udacity machine learning engineer certifications. So I had a little bit of diverse background in terms of certifications and ITs. So after, I think during my PhD, a recruiter reached out to me. So this is my journey to LinkedIn. A recruiter reached out to me and told me about an opportunity on LinkedIn as well. So I guess my story is kind of similar to everybody. So the recruiter reached out to me and talked to me about the opportunity as an SRE. Prior to that, I did not have a lot of experience about SRE. I was more involved in software development and software engineering, basically. And I thought, okay, why not? Let me give this a shot. So I decided to go through the interview, and it was fun. And people that I met, and actually during the interview process, I already loved the company because the interviewers and everybody, they were just so nice and helpful. You know, they were like, I decided that, okay, I really need to join this company during that process. So, and I wasn't disappointed when I joined. I joined a team, and my managers, my team members, they were extremely helpful, right? So the expectation whenever you join a new team is that you are going to have a ramp up process whereby the first few months are going to be a little bit challenging because there are still a lot of things you need to learn. And at that stage, you need a very supportive peers, manager that are going to guide you through the process and tell you that, okay, this, whatever you're experiencing is the same thing that everybody that is joining the team had experienced at some point in time, right? So, and I was able to get that, right? I was able to get people that were very supportive and they told me that, okay, whatever you're going through is absolutely okay, and we are here to help you. And that kind of reinforced my initial belief that this is a fantastic place to work. And I'm not just saying it because I work here. It's just a really, really nice place to work. So I work with the cash-based team. We provide caching as a service here at LinkedIn. So my day-to-day basically involve developing tools to manage infrastructure here. So for an SRE, you should be someone that have like a software engineer that likes to have engineering approaches to managing tools and services. So we do a lot of monitoring, a lot of ensuring that our infrastructure is up and running and healthy. So you need a lot of skills like Linux, a good knowledge of Linux,
Uh-oh, I think I accidentally muted you, Wale. Sorry about that.
Okay, I guess I'm talking for too long. Just joking. Okay, so you need a very good engineering skill, basically. And here I'll be the breakout session will be me and Emeka, and I will also be elaborating more about what we do and what you need to know more about SRE here at LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Again.
Awesome. Thank you, Wale. So to our candidates, I highly encourage you to also check out the site reliability engineering team so that you can ask questions. We're going to have a total of 5 breakout sessions, and I think I have one more to go. So let me introduce our next breakout session leader, who is V Colte, Manager, Information Security. So Tanvi, if you're ready.
All right, great. So my name is Tanvi, and I've been, no, totally cool. I've been working here at LinkedIn for about 3 years in information security. So I'll talk a little bit about my background and how I got here, and then I'll talk about security engineering, which is the organization that I'm here representing today. So to start off, I actually have my background in electrical engineering, and that's where I got my bachelor's degree at UC San Diego a few years ago. And through electrical engineering, I always had this interest in software. So when I graduated, I went to work at Cisco, actually as a DevOps engineer. So doing DevOps kind of work, working with infrastructure really deeply, I got more and more interested in the automation pieces and in the tooling pieces that come with software engineering. And I was able to work on a ton of different projects that really supported the core infrastructure pieces at Cisco. But my most interesting project that I worked on there was actually a security project. So I built a tool that improved security visibility and compliance that really helped our organization make sure that the information security team that we were working with had the visibility that they needed to make sure that the software that we were writing was secure, but also that we were compliant with all the different regulations and things out there. So this really sparked my interest in information security in general. And when a recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn to see if I was interested in a job at LinkedIn as an SRE, I said, sure, but I'd love to go into something that has to do with security. And I had an amazing recruiter, and she was really able to work with everything going on to get me an SRE role, specifically supporting and writing applications that are used for investigations and detection in information security. So even though I didn't have that security background, I was able to bring my SRE background and my DevOps background to a role where I could use that while I learned more about information security. So today, I'm doing a part-time master's in computer science from Georgia Tech while I lead the defense infrastructure team here at LinkedIn. So a little bit more about the team itself. So information security, as you know, is a pretty large organization, really tasked with keeping LinkedIn secure. We always put our members first, and our members really trust us with a lot of their data. And so we want to put in the work to make sure that LinkedIn is a trusted and secure platform. And the organization specifically that I'm here to represent is security engineering. So security engineering sits within the larger information security organization, and it's responsible for the foundational infrastructure, the software, and tools for both the information security team and for the larger company to further LinkedIn security overall. So we build software and automation for things like security visibility, regular automation of processes involving compliance, remediation, and for security engineers to use while focusing on making security the easy thing to do about developing libraries and other tools as well. And the team is split into 3 sub-teams. So before that, Nina, who's going to be joining us on the panel, leads the security engineering team. The defense infrastructure team, which is one of our sub-teams, is led by me. And we focus on architecting and building the foundational infrastructure for security data, DevOps tools, everything else needed for incident response capabilities, and really the big data for visibility, comprehensive visibility. We'll also have in our panel today, Justin, who leads the vulnerability management team, which creates solutions for detecting technical risk and partners with engineers to secure LinkedIn. And then we have the identity development team as well, which builds software to support seamless, secure, and managed authentication across the board. So we're excited to have you join us. If you're interested in security and have any sort of a technical background, we'd love to talk to you, and we'd love to see if you'd be a good fit.
Awesome. Awesome. So thank you, Tanvi, for being one of our breakout session leaders. And that leads us to sort of the meat and potatoes of our event and the opportunity for you all as candidates. So now this will be your opportunity to go ahead and turn on your video if you like to. If you're in a place where you don't have any distractions and you're prepared to turn on your video, you can do that going into the breakout sessions. But I'm going to explain quickly on the protocol for the breakout sessions, and then I'm going to open up the breakout sessions, and the LinkedIn team members, you all can jump into the right breakout sessions, and to our candidates, you can jump into the breakout sessions of interest, but you can move around. So we have roughly 130 some folks on the call, so it would be great, and you'll probably have the best opportunity to move around into the different breakout sessions where there's maybe a lower ratio of LinkedIn team members to candidates, so that you all have that chance to engage. So feel free to move around into the different breakout sessions, but we will have 5 breakout sessions. And once again, I'll go over those: LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, Flagship LinkedIn Talent Solutions, Site Reliability Engineering, Productivity Engineering, and Information Security. And like I said, if you're not quite sure, if you want to jump into one session, you can move around to a different session later. And to our LinkedIn breakout session participants, you all, once you get into the breakout sessions, feel free to introduce all of the LinkedIn team members, share whatever you like to share to get the conversation started. And to our candidates, once you're in the breakout sessions, you can start to ask questions. Now, I'm going to give you a quick protocol for asking those questions here within Zoom. So within Zoom, there's an option called reactions. And with reactions, you can actually use the reactions to raise your hand and ask questions, so that the LinkedIn team members that are manning the different breakout sessions can call you to ask your question. And at that point, you can come off of mute and you can ask your question live, or you can ask your question in the chat. So to our LinkedIn folks, you keep an eye on the chat within the breakout sessions as well for any questions that might come through that way. We welcome that. But I highly encourage our candidates to use the raise hand feature within reactions, so that the LinkedIn folks can call on you to ask your questions once you get to that point in the breakout session. I will stay in this main session in case we have any folks that are maybe logged into this Zoom event by phone and you can't directly jump into a breakout session. I'll hang around here and I'll help you get into the appropriate breakout session. But like I said, I highly encourage you all to check out the different breakout sessions and engage, ask questions in the chat, or use the raise hand feature to ask questions to our panelists. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms right now. All right, so all of the rooms are now open. So you'll see the option to jump in and join. If you go to the breakout sessions icon within Zoom, you can start to join the appropriate breakout sessions. And like I said, I'll be here in the main lobby to help anyone get assigned to the different room if they need help. Thank you all and enjoy. You got about 35 minutes to engage. Like I said, if anyone has any trouble, if you're connected by phone and you need help getting into a breakout session, just drop it in the chat. Or you can, yep.
I will, yeah. I'm trying to join the InfoSec team.
Okay, Subair, 1 second.
Thank you.
1 second. InfoSec, there we go. All right, should be on your way.
Will, I'm trying to join the TPM team.
Jabril, 1 second. I'm sorry, was that which team was that?
The TPM, Technical Program
Oh,
Manager.
okay, flagship LinkedIn Talent. Okay, LTS. Gotcha.
Hi, yeah, I want jump into that room as well, but I don't think I can join.
1 second.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey, hi, Will. I want to join the productivity engineering team.
1 second.
Yeah.
There you go. If anyone needs help joining a breakout session, yep.
Hi, can you put me on the SRE team?
That's Decker's.
Yeah, this Decker.
And that was site reliability.
Yep, site reliability.
Gotcha. Yep.
Thank you.
And let's see, Patrick is going to PE team. Patrick, let's see. Looks like he's good. If you need help jumping into a room, drop it in the chat, and I'll get you moved over. So let's see.
Hello, Will. This is Raul. Can you move me to Software Engineering Manager, LMS?
LMS, sure. There you go. All right. To my HBCU folks, I'll put you guys in the relevant rooms right now. So Tamika, let me put you in site reliability. Reggie, I'm gonna put you in information security. Okay. All right. To any of our candidates, if you need help being moved into a room, just let me know. Hey, Doug, you wanna join one of the? Oh, there, Doug. Just there you go. Eddie, did you want me to put you in site reliability engineering?
Sure.
That's your team, right?
It's not, but I.
Okay. I'm sorry. Would there be a more appropriate breakout session?
Any, it doesn't matter. I mean, not that it doesn't matter. I mean, any of them are equally. I work with all of these teams. So.
Okay, so I'll choose one of the teams that doesn't have as many reps. So how about, yeah, SRE. I'll forward you to that room. Let's see. If there's anyone else that needs help getting into a breakout session, just let me know.
Hey, Will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Uma. Can you help me get me to a room?
Yeah, I think can you disconnect from Zoom and then reconnect, and then I'll get you in. I think Zoom is just confused.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, just reconnect if you can.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Omar. Which room did you want to go into? Hey, Omar, I don't know if you can hear me, but let me know which room you wanted to go into.
Let me see.
We've got LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, flagship LinkedIn Talent Solutions, site reliability engineering, productivity engineering, and information security.
Let's try information security.
Perfect. All right, here you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, Mouse. Can you put me on productivity engineering?
Deckers. I think you'll have to log out of Zoom and then log back in because sometimes it gets confused on your status.
Gotcha.
Yeah, once you log back in, I'll put you in productivity engineering.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Hello. Hey, Will.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. You?
Good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I got an email and I joined this. I'm currently at work right now, funny enough, but yeah, are most of your hiring events mainly for people with technical backgrounds? Let's say, so I didn't major in engineering at college. I graduated a few years ago and I unfortunately didn't, study programming or anything or computer science or anything. But would you say any of your events are?
Not all of them. No, definitely not. This particular event is focused more on folks with the technical background in software engineering or technical program management. But no, not all of our, like we just did an event last week with Walgreens, for example.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'd say definitely stay tuned if you want to jump in the events and kind of take advantage.
How about because I know your site is HBCU Connect.
Yep.
How often do you work with students who went to like PWIs, for example?
Totally, all the time. There's no issue at all. Hey, let me throw Decker in the.
Oh, I apologize.
Hey, no worries. Hold on one second. Deckers, you wanted to go into productivity engineering?
Correct. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. There you go. Okay, Bryson. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you didn't attend an HBCU, it's okay. We do focus mostly on African American and Latinx candidates, but we even have some candidates that are non-Latinx and non-African American that hear about our events and come to our events. And of course, we want to be inclusive, even though the events are targeted.
Yeah, I applied to Deloitte and I saw HBCU Connect. I watch your YouTube channel, so that's Ty new. Yeah. What are you driving Knowledge around today? Knowledge 2.0 today, or?
I'm remote, man. I'm out of the country right now.
Oh, cool. Where Colombia, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, great place to be.
Yeah,
Fantastic place.
But I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back on the ground. I got 2 more videos queued up while I'm gone. So
cool.
Yeah, want to drop on Saturday. But yeah, man,
sure.
welcome to join the events. Most of them are like focused on tech companies, but not all of them.
For sure, yeah. I'm sort of very like inclined to join like a tech company, but not having an actual tech background is really limiting me.
What did you major in?
Psych, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. That's why I can't get a job. Well, I can't get a good job that I want, but I went to a really good school. I went to UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, there's you would be surprised, man. I would just say if you want to get in a tech company, just come and be a fly on the wall at some of our events, because what you'll see is you'll hear some stories about people that are in roles where they have a background that has nothing to do with the role that they may currently be in, but they talk about their path to how they got to their role. So you can be there to kind of soak that in and ask questions and maybe network with some folks, add some folks on LinkedIn as a part of your network so that you can start to ask questions and see how you might be able to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, it's just been a difficult journey thus far, just because like a lot of people who went to my school who are in these crazy roles are making like 150K and they can't program at all. A lot of them had like connections or, they I don't even know how they got in their roles. It's always been like a blur or confusion to me. So, but yeah, hopefully hopefully I can join a few more events.
Yeah, definitely,
great.
man. You can always email me too if you want me to take a look at your resume, and if you want to tell me what kind of role you think would be ideal, I can look out.
For sure. Yeah, I've DM'd you on Instagram a few times. But,
yeah, I suck on Instagram, so if I haven't got back to you yet, eventually I will. But you can email me if you got the invite to this event. that email will come right back to me if you respond.
Cool. Well, yeah. I totally understand. Like Instagram's like not the best platform for networking
hard.
and everything.
It's just hard. I just get a lot. It's just
yeah.
hard
You probably get like 1,000 a day, probably. I mean, you're
not that much, but it's enough to where
it's overwhelming.
I can't hardly keep up with it. But hey, I see we just got someone else. Charlisha Mitchell, did you want me to help you get into a breakout session?
Well, I have to get back to work. So
okay.
It was great speaking with you.
Hey, likewise. Right. Take care.
Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye. If you need help getting into a breakout session, I'm happy to help guide you into a breakout room. Just let me know. Greetings. Let me know if you need help jumping into a breakout session. I'm happy to move you into a breakout room. Greetings. Let me know if you need help jumping into a breakout session. I'll get you set up. Just let me know. Juan, did you need help?
Hey, I am fine. Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. Greetings. We have currently breakout sessions going on right now. So if you'd like to jump into one of the breakout rooms, or if you need help jumping into one of the breakout rooms, I can get you set up. Just let me know. Welcome, welcome. Gilbert, let me know if you need help getting into one of the breakout sessions.
Thank you. I'm jumping in one of them now.
Okay, perfect. What's up, sir? All good. Yes, sir. Yeah, they came full force, LinkedIn team. Greetings, greetings. We're currently in breakout sessions. Let me know if you need help jumping into one of the live breakout sessions.
Hey, Will, do you think we should do like a last question morning or last 2 minutes?
Yep. I was going to go to 7:25 Eastern. Is that too late, or like we did at our last event? Because I'm not at the end, you know what I mean? So let me know.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I know a few of our breakout room panelists might have to drop, but if anything, we can just say that like they'll let the teams know they're dropping, but
Okay.
maybe we can say like another 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll do that right now. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I think folks will be all gathering back here in our main session. We'll give folks a chance to do that. To our candidates, please mute yourself at this point, if you would. We're going to give folks from talent acquisition a few minutes to just introduce themselves and talk about expectations, next steps, and whatever they like to share from a talent acquisition and recruiting standpoint. But let's see, it seems like breakout rooms hopefully are emptied out at this point. And then I want to get a screenshot of your smiling faces on camera as well before we go. And then I'll hand it over to our keynote speaker for any final words of encouragement. But at this point, Ashley, Gabrielle, if you're ready, I'd like to introduce you all from the talent acquisition team. Ashley Neff is a talent acquisition manager, and Gabrielle Baltiera is a technical sourcer for D&I there at LinkedIn. So Ashley and Gabrielle, if you're ready.
We're ready. Thank you so much, Will, and hi, everyone. On behalf of, I think, the entire LinkedIn team, we just want to thank you all for attending this event and also welcome everyone back from the breakout rooms. I really hope that, everyone enjoyed meeting the LinkedIn team and other attendees here at the event, and we're able to have some really good conversations. I know we did in the site engineering room. So thank you all for attending. And I would also love to get some engagement going in the chat. So if everyone wouldn't mind just adding, either your favorite part of the event or something interesting you learned today from, either the breakout rooms or the speakers, any outstanding questions you might have for the LinkedIn team, we would really love to hear from you. So feel free to throw those in the chat at this time. And I will introduce myself while everyone is sharing. So I am Ashley Neff, and I am a talent acquisition manager here at LinkedIn. I've been at LinkedIn for around 7.5 years now, and I lead a team of just incredible sourcers, many of whom you've actually met in the breakout rooms today. And then I'm going to pass it over to Gabriel to introduce himself and then also provide some more information on next steps.
Appreciate it, Ashley, and thank you so much. I'm part of the LinkedIn Marketing Solutions organization as a tech sourcer and diversity and inclusions lead here with the organization. Just wanted to be quick because I know we're close on time for the closing remarks and whatnot, but the QR codes are definitely something to be looked at. They will be up on the next slide. Here we go. Perfect. For folks who found an interest in any of the opportunities or at least the organizations, we recommend at least scanning every single one of them. You'll definitely find a proper fit. And if you don't, obviously connect with us, please. I'm going to go ahead and put my detail here in the chat right now as far as the LinkedIn connection, because we can always get you aligned with other opportunities here at LinkedIn, just in case, things don't necessarily meet certain expectations, but still have the curiosity. With respect to the lines of business, we do have a lot of different ways that folks can get involved here with us, and are really appreciative of the time that you've taken to meet up with us for this event itself. Definitely want to make sure that you're aware there will be a survey that goes out after the event. So please make sure that you get that completed. Perhaps even bringing up any kind of individuals or any kind of topics or engineering leaders that stood out, or at least had some great detail that you felt was super helpful. It's always great to have the feedback, especially with respect to us linking up with HBCU Connect. We're super thankful to have the opportunity and want to make sure we can at least get every single one of you pointed in the right direction. So, thanks again for the time today. Once again, thanks to the panelists and as well as the attendees. Looking forward to getting this kicked off. Over back to Will, and look forward to having you all apply.
Awesome. So thanks, Ashley. Thanks, Gabriel. Really appreciate it. To our candidates. So what I want to do quickly is I want to get a screenshot of your smiling faces. So if folks are comfortable turning on their cameras or their videos for a quick second, I like to get a screenshot of everyone quickly. And then I'm going to hand it over to Eddie Bernard to kind of take us out. But before we do that, and as you guys turn on your cameras, if you're okay with that, before we do that, let me thank all of you for coming, because without you all coming, this event would not be possible. Let me thank the LinkedIn team for volunteering your time to share your experiences, to engage with our candidates. Without you all, this event would not be possible. And to our candidates, I really want to emphasize that these are real opportunities with LinkedIn. This is a hiring event. This is not just a dog and pony show or a branding event. This is a hiring event. So you want to make sure we have your latest resume as well by going to hbcuconnect.com/LinkedIn. We will share that with the talent acquisition team that you all just met. So they will have your resumes, but also I highly encourage you all to engage and network on LinkedIn, of course. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get a quick screenshot. So if you guys want to say cheese with me real quickly. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Love it. All right. So with that being said, let me pass it back to Eddie for the final closeout. Eddie, if you have any words of encouragement for our candidates, or just anything you'd like to share for our candidates to consider as they look at opportunities with LinkedIn.
No, thanks, Will. I appreciate it. And I want to thank our talent acquisition team and all the hard work that they do to put these type of events together. They do a remarkable job in regards to working with us that are seeking talent for the organization as well. So I can't thank you guys enough for the work that you guys are doing. I think one closing remark I want to offer to folks here, I think one of the things that I heard in the breakout room is, that people see the passion that we have in regards to how we as employees feel about working here at LinkedIn. And hopefully, you'll see that there's a genuity or genuineness to how we feel about working here. And one last thing, in closing, is that, again, we really do firmly believe in providing opportunity, to everybody that's part of the workforce. And that, that means, whether you come into LinkedIn or whether or not you leverage our services and whatnot, and leverage our tools and whatnot, or for that matter, just make those connections and whatnot, building community and building that network so that you can do it, whether it's here at LinkedIn or no matter wherever else you go. Now, that being said, we would love to see you here. And we're really excited about having the time to spend with you. And if there are any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to answer any more questions. And I'll hand it back over to you, Will.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Eddie Bernard, thank you for being our keynote as well. To our candidates, look out for a follow-up email from us, from HBCU Connect, where we will share the event recording, the post-event survey, and of course, links to the job opportunities with LinkedIn, and then also the link where you can submit your latest resume to us to share with the folks at LinkedIn. So again, I wanted to thank everyone. For us at HBCU Connect, partnering with LinkedIn is super important, sort of a dream come true as far as us also being a social network early on and witnessing the growth within LinkedIn, being a part of, as a client to LinkedIn as well. Now to have LinkedIn as a client of ours, it's an honor. So we really appreciate it. But again, thank you to our candidates and to the team members at LinkedIn, and hope you all enjoyed the event and have a great evening. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.